If you saw me dressed this way on the street, you might think I was from another planet, or else you'd think this looks pretty silly. Well, it might just look that way, but my clothes serve an important purpose. They're for protection, just like a fireman's uniform is for protection. What do you think this suit protects me from? If you said bees, you're right. I'm Randy, and I'm a beekeeper. I raise bees, and I'd like to tell you about bees, specifically about a new type of bee, the Africanized honeybee. Some people call this type of bee killer bees. Oh, and this is Bubba. He is an Africanized honeybee, but some people call him a killer bee. Bubba is like other Africanized honeybees in that he's kind of grumpy, but he's going to be nice enough today to help me tell you about him and his family.
Knowing what to do around us bees is very important so you won't get stung.
A lot of what most people know about killer bees comes from untrue stories like this one about a bee the size of a cow. It's just not true. And much of what people think they know about bees is wrong.
They think it's a foot long with a 2-inch long stinger running around in big black clouds looking for someone to light on and sting to death. They do not kill, they do not attack, they do not hunt down people. They only defend their hive.
In fact, most scientists believe that our day-to-day lives will not change in areas where the bees live. So, should we really be concerned about the killer bees? Yes. This bee does bring with it some danger.
We're mean.
You see, they become angry faster than do common bees. Thousands of killer bees can fly into the air in a matter of seconds if their hive is bothered. This is when the bees are most dangerous and when they are most likely to sting you.
Be alert.
Hi, Randy. Hi, Bubba.
Hi, Anna. You know, Bubba and I are here telling all these boys and girls about one of our favorite subjects, bees.
Really? Can I help?
Of course you can.
Great. Well, we all know that we find bees around flowers. Why is that? They use the nectar and pollen from flowers for food. When they get back to their home, called a hive or a colony, they make something that some people and animals like to eat. What do you think it is? If you said honey, you're right. Bees make honey, lots of it. That's one big reason that people like having bees around. Also, many of the foods we eat, like vegetables, would not exist without the help of honeybees. They pollinate or feed the vegetables with the pollen left on their legs. And that's where beekeepers like Randy come in. They build bee boxes so bees will live there to make honey and pollinate vegetable crops.
But Africanized bees are not picky about where we live. We will live just about anywhere we can find shelter from the sun and the rain. This may mean holes in the ground, hollow trees, junk piles, and even openings in your home.
But I know one thing that boys and girls can do to protect their homes and yards from the Africanized bee.
What is that, Anna?
They can form a bee patrol with their parents and neighbors to look for signs of bees entering their home. If you do find bees, call an exterminator. An exterminator is someone who can get rid of insects for you. But remember, always have an adult with you when you go on your bee patrol.
By now, you may be wondering where the Africanized bee came from. With a little help from Bubba, I'll show you. About 40 years ago, in the country of Brazil, in South America, many queen bees, or mama bees, brought over from Africa, escaped into the jungle of Brazil. It didn't take long for the Africanized bees to take over. They produced Africanized bees by marrying ordinary domestic bees. They have been moving north ever since. And they reached Texas in 1990 and are still moving north.
So if these bees are so bad, how do I know if I see one?
Well, Anna, that's the hard part. You can't tell them apart from ordinary bees just by looking at them, and neither can bee experts. Scientists have to look at them under a microscope to tell ordinary bees and killer bees apart.
So if you can't tell them apart, what should you do when you see bees?
Simple, give them lots of room. If you find a bee on a flower, it's probably not going to bother you if you don't bother it, because it's simply gathering food. You may also see bees in a thick group hanging on a tree branch or a building. This is called a swarm. Bees swarm during the spring and the fall to find new places to live. Bees in a swarm probably will not bother you if you don't bother them. But if you see bees traveling back and forth from one place to another, it's likely that their home is nearby. When that happens, be careful, because all bees, killer or ordinary bees, get mad if you get too near their homes because they protect their baby bees. Africanized bees get madder sooner and will come out of their home much faster to try to sting you.
Be careful.
So what should you do if you accidentally bother a hive of bees and they start flying after you?
What you do not want to do is to stand there and swat at the bees like this. When bees are squashed, the bees give off a smell that attracts and tells other bees to join in on the attack.
So if you do stand there, it's possible for you to get stung hundreds of times in a few seconds?
Right. Instead of standing in one place, if bees are after you, you should run, run, run. Try to cover your face with your shirt like this while you run so your face won't get stung. Keep running until the bees stop chasing you.
We do get tired after a while.
But if you do get stung by a bee, scrape the stinger off of your skin. Don't squash it, because then you will squirt the bee poison into your body.
Well, it's about time for us to all go. So let's go over some things to remember about bees.
Honeybees are good insects. They make wax and honey and pollinate much of the food we eat.
Right. But you need to stay away from bees' homes. They will protect their hives by stinging you if you get too close. If you do disturb a bee's home, what should you do? Do you want to stand there? No. You should run and keep running until you've outrun the bees. They will stop chasing you after a while.
And most importantly, remember that we Africanized or killer bees are here to stay.
Yes, we're all going to have to learn to live with this new bee.
It gets mad faster than other bees, so keep away from bees' homes, and you'll be okay.
Right. Be alert. Be careful. Be smart.
Bye-bye now.
Goodbye.
Come on, Bubba.